The Omid and Kojo Show.
So we should mention, we're in the same house.
Yeah, we're in the same house. We couldn't fit both of us on one camera, so we thought this would be the move. Hold on.
Jesus. Steve Dogg's going straight for it. Steve
What?
Dogg said, I told my ACL, what exercises you recommend? Jesus.
Damn, right in there, trying to get the most out of this life.
Right, okay. Well, I'll address that a little bit later on. But first of all, we're going to intro it by saying, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and also comment and let us know what you think and interact with any of the things that we're discussing, because we're trying to make a thing out of these bloody shows. We're 22 episodes deep, or 23, and we hope you guys are enjoying them because you're part of an elite squad, a very elite squad, and that squad is the cult of Shromid, the Church of Shromid.
The Church of Shromid. And the church, all you little shrimps out there, we're all gonna get nice and flexible today.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to follow along with the exact stretches we're doing. Obviously, do what you want, do your own stretches if you want, but I'm gonna guide it a little bit. It's gonna be a pretty light stretch, not trying to do any hard positions or anything, as this is the first time doing it, so we need to test things out. Yeah. Someone said, should we warm up or we go in to right nor? I don't know. We going in raw? I'm guessing that's what you meant. So let's start off with some butterflies. Keep it nice and simple. And I'm going to bring up our first topic for today, which is butterflies are these, by the way, if you don't know. Feet together, bit of that. But yeah. So our first topic for today is, what should tricking be called? Because the name tricking is kind of dumb. It's also used for like being a whore. And we don't
being
want
a lady of the night.
Yeah, being a what they called Jezebel.
A Jezebel, a dirty Jezebel.
Yeah, imagine our sport's pretty much called. It might as well be called like Jezebeling or hoeing or something. You know. So we're thinking, like, if it wasn't called tricking, what would it be called? What could we call it?
Turn you up.
So yeah. If you have any suggestions throughout, then just let us know. But yeah,
it's a weird one, I think, because I've been through various different phases throughout my tricking lifetime, where I used to think, oh no, it's fine. Someone said we should call it not quite gymnastics. But yeah, I've now kind of settled on the thought that I'm not a huge fan of the name tricking. Now, I think we should discuss why it's not that great of a name, because obviously there's the whole, Jezebel aspect. But I think also there's a lot to be said about what the actual, I don't know, the way it sounds, and the fact that it's got multiple different uses of the word. Like, I've told people in the past I do this sport called tricking, and they think I'm talking about card tricks, or they think I'm talking about something completely different. And it's just, I don't know, it's a weird one to navigate.
Yeah. So we need something that clearly defines it, so it's separate from like b-boying, free running, capoeira, gymnastics. It needs to be separate, even though it does share some elements. But tricking doesn't really make it separate, because there's lots of different types of trick. So my suggestion, I don't have an actual name for it yet, but I think using an acronym that's like, so we've got one simple word that we can go by. It could be a brand new word, but all of the letters in it stand for things that actually explain what tricking is. Yeah. Maybe martial arts, freestyle, martial. No, you can't. You need a vowel. We need a vowel.
Not this. Whatever Kojo's saying, not this, but
I got it. Freestyle, acrobatic, martial arts, FAMA. But just as an example, it sounds stupid. But it's better than tricking. At least it doesn't mean like, going out and whoring yourself. Like, it's better than that. And you could tell people like, oh, it's called FAMA. and then you tell them what it stands for, and they'll be like, oh, so it's that, and I've got a one-word thing to search.
Well, I don't know. The thing for me, I think something that needs to be taken into consideration. I mean, obviously, we're not going to change the game. We're not just going to change the name of Tricking right here and now.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to sound cooler.
But
But
that's not like a set idea. I'm just trying to get people's brains working.
No,
the
no,
right
no, I
way.
know.
You need to
I know
think
what I'm
outside
saying.
the box.
Take it into consideration though with the whole naming process, because like even thinking about like free running makes sense and it sounds cool. Parkour, obviously, it's like a French thing and it doesn't make sense unless
But
parkour means something.
But parkour is its own word, which is cool.
Yeah,
Someone
that's
said,
yeah.
do you think it's actually possible to change the name of the sport? Pretty much any sport. Think of a sport. It's probably had different names in the past. Most sports have multiple names as well. So, like, tricking wasn't even always called tricking. Like, that's a newer thing. That's not even 2 decades old, really.
Yeah.
It was like XMA or... Yeah, it wasn't really tricking before, so we could have something better.
Well,
And also, well, free running, going back to the free running example, free running wasn't a term at all, like 15 years, it came up about 15 years ago, something like that. But in the 20th century, free running was not a term that existed.
Yeah, yeah. I like it though. I think the fact that like this is even a discussion, like just because it's kind of exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the fact that the sport is so young, I think it means like, obviously, like, because to be honest, I don't care what it's called, but I think it's definitely an interesting topic of discussion because it always kind of feels a bit weird just saying I do tricking in my head.
Yeah, it's not a nice, like when you say it to people, they're like tricking, it doesn't make them think of like kick and flip combinations that are meant to be aesthetic. It doesn't make you think of that at all, really. It makes people think of card tricks, it makes people think of horse. It doesn't, it's not like the best term for it. So
Yeah.
I don't have the answer for what the term should be, but I think we could do better. And I think we could do a bit more open towards it because a lot of people get really defensive. Like just because someone doesn't, when people question the term tricking, they're not attacking your identity as a tricker or attacking tricking as a whole. It's just a word. It's literally just the word we call it. The word we call it doesn't actually matter. What matters are the combos people are doing and the gatherings and the community and all of that. It's not the actual word that we use to describe it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it should have some kind of like, I said this before, I think you should call it something like Blaze Flip Nasty. I don't know. Like,
I don't know about Blaze Flip Nasty. All right, guys. If you're doing this straddle, pop your knee down like that. Get into one of these. If you can see that, really good stretch. Try and keep your butt cheek on the ground, and do some of those circles. Work into that hip. I'm gonna put it back up a bit. But yeah. Someone said. Oh, Alex Hunter said, I always thought loop kicks would have been a cool name for it. And they're like, yeah, loop kicks is a better name than tricking, for sure. For sure.
I don't know. Like, what do you guys
word.
think? Do you agree? Do you think that it's like, because to me, there's a certain element of it that kind of feels almost, I don't know, underdeveloped with the naming of it. I feel like it could have something more. And having said that, it kind of makes me think like, am I alone in thinking that? Like, I know Kojo feels the same, but like, what do you guys think?
Well, we've had, where is it? Tom the Tricker said, IMO, tricking is a terrible name. And that's from Tom the Tricker.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
you know, people...
From Tom the Tricker, yo, we I don't know, imagine if his name was Tom the Loot Kicker.
Like, I think people get that it's not a very good name, but it's obviously really hard to change the name of a sport, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. Just because something's hard doesn't mean it's not possible. And the first step towards changing it is us talking about it and like having some ideas. And then maybe there's a good idea and we just start saying that. Some of us just start saying that and it might catch on. So you don't know, we could change it.
Well, that's what happened with my name. Kojo tried for like 3 or 4 months. He just called me Omid. He would say my name when he didn't need to say my name, just so that he could say the word Omid. And then eventually I couldn't escape it and everyone called me Omid. And now I call myself Omid and I refer to myself in third person because I'm Omid.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done. To make a name stick, you've just got to repeat it enough. I've always been good at this. I give a lot of nicknames to people and I make them stick. I've been calling Peen for years. I didn't come up with that one. I'm not trying to claim it, but I'm good at making them stick.
Yeah, that one was definitely a team effort though.
Like Scar said, like the Scarlet Tricker, which I've never called myself. Yeah, Scarlet Tricker.
Scarlet Tricker.
People say ninjastics. I think it just, like, I get it.
I feel like the ninja aspect's a little bit juvenile.
It just sounds a bit lame. I mean, maybe, honestly, probably a bit better than Trickin. I'm just changing over sides. Get onto the other side if you're doing that.
Yo, in Brazil, apparently, Nori Gomez said, we call that salto mortal.
Yeah. Well, that's what, you know, when they don't do like, you know, have you seen those old videos where they do Webster's really, really well and they do like double cork and they're always landing on one leg and then hopping around and then doing another flip?
Oh my God.
It's its own thing.
Do you remember that fucking, the Brazilian guy that used to come to UTX when we first started with the cane roll? And he was just amazing at doing certain things. Yeah. He was one of those guys.
Yeah, we got Tom the Loop Kicker in the chat.
Oh my God.
Here I am rebranding.
No, that's commitment to the cause.
Oh, I
need to pin that. Tom the Loop Kicker, he literally just changed his Instagram handle from Tom the Tricker to Tom the Loop Kicker. No, that's dedication. This is the kind of dedication that we need for the Omid and Kojo show.
Well, all right, Omid, let's try and think of another name for it. Come on. So what are the give me some keywords. Guys, if you can help out in the chat, keywords that describe tricking. We got kicks.
I think flow is one.
Huh?
Flow should definitely be one.
So we got flow, kicks, combinations, flips, a lot of Fs, a bit in Ks.
Yeah, we don't want too many Ks getting mixed up with the other branded Ks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We don't want to be associated, you know. We can't be called. Oh, it's KK. Like too close.
Everyone getting confused. Like, what is it? What is this? Some kind of? Oh no, we can't.
Someone said flownastics. Jordan said freestyle flat ground. I think freestyle has a place in it. I think freestyle, like sometimes when people ask me, and I'll admit, people do get annoyed about this, which is funny, but sometimes when people ask me, I do just say freestyle acrobatics because it makes more sense to them. And if it's an old person they're not going to be starting tricking and they're not going to look it up. They don't care. So I just say freestyle acrobatics to save myself the hassle in the section.
I don't ever say tricking without saying it's just to make my life easier without saying like it's like a type of acrobatics. Or I'll just say the acrobatics. Just it depends on the circumstance.
And even that's long-winded. So I think
flat ground, there's definitely something to be done with that because it kind of removes because most people when they see me, even if I'm doing tricks on concrete, just on flat ground, people are like, oh, so it's like where you jump off buildings and stuff. I'm like, are we both on top of a building right now? No. So I'll just switch up the stretch.
Yeah, getting on a bit of this.
Oh, this is a good one.
I like to kind of rock in it as well, so try that out at home. For the ladies and gentlemen at home, give that one a go. Okay, so with the freestyle aspect, so we got freestyle, and you could start it with fat, like freestyle acrobatic. Freestyle acrobatic.
Tricks. Fat.
Fat.
Or if we could somehow make it fatty, that would be great. So freestyle acrobatic tricks that they're yummy.
Freestyle acrobatic trick. So that's fat.
I like fat.
It could end with fat.
How about
you
X
could
fat?
Like, Mafat.
Mafat.
Mafat. martial arts, freestyle, acrobatic tricks.
I'm a big fan of that.
Mafat.
Fat.
Oh, Scar said, Faff, freestyle, acrobatic, flat fun. just having a fun time.
Facker. I like that. Freestyle, acro, flips. Nah, that's too much. Freestyle, acro, flips, kicks, and arts. I don't know whether. I don't know. It's definitely something. There's things coming up. I don't know what. It's just.
Someone said freestyle acrobatic performance fap. And then people are like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, it's called fapping.
Oh, it's called Fapnastics.
I'm the #1 fapper in the country.
Oh God. Well, it's weird.
In the Hall of Fame for faps.
Well, if you change the name of like Tricking, well, if you change the name of Tricking, then what do you refer to tricks as? Are we changing the name of tricks? Do we call them fapsters?
I think they could still be called tricks, is the thing. And I think you could have trick in there somewhere in the name. But I just think tricking, just by itself, it just doesn't sound good.
Kojo, all we can see is your inner thigh. For fuck's sake.
All right. So I'm in a lunge for anyone who's keeping up with the stretches. We lunge in.
Yeah. Are you guys stretching? Let us know. Kojo's fat lab. Oh my God, that's too funny.
Oh no. That's not good.
No. Hang on.
Someone said I fap for a living. That's totally fantastic. How's it gotten to this? See, we started with tricking and now we've gotten to fap. We're going down with the names, you know? Okay. What other names? What else is it related to? We need a new letter because we've got too many F's and K's and A's. We need some other letters. Think of a word related to tricking. Let's see what you got.
I'm trying to think. So we've got too many F's and K's.
Someone said free kicking. Better than tricking. Still better than tricking.
Still a bit bent though.
All right, change. So, both hands on the inside of your leg. Bit of that, dipping down. You just see my head bobbing. Oh yeah.
You're gonna murder.
Someone said long-term suicide. Yeah.
I mean, pretty accurate, honestly.
FKA, flips, kicks, acrobatics. I mean, that doesn't sound bad, but it does mean, it already means something, doesn't it? FKA, formerly known as, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, we could call it
tricking.
FKA tricking.
Oh, we could call it, yeah, FKA tricking. The sport formerly known as tricking.
All right, I'm going straight leg now.
Oh, this is a lot, you know.
Yeah, we've just been tramping, by the way.
Yeah.
The body's feeling it. All right, unrestricted. Nah.
Too gimmicky.
Huh?
Too gimmicky. Although saying that, it's a lot. I feel like it's kind of along the same lines as free running, in terms of it being like that kind of cool, edgy, but also not that.
Well, honestly, I think freestyle has a place in the name. It's not the coolest word, but it's not like as lame as ninja.
Yeah.
You know? But I think freestyle does really describe a lot of what tricking is. It's like at its core, tricking is freestyle. It's one of the most freestyle things. Like that's the perfect word to describe it, isn't it? So it's just freestyle what? Because acrobatics, that doesn't explain why there's combos full of all these kicks based in martial arts technique. And freestyle martial arts, that's still kind of, you think like fight, you think MMA. So where did, you know, like Jordan said abstract acro, and it's like, that could be its own thing though. You know, like what Andre Kaposi does? Like I feel like that could kind of be a separate thing. We need something that includes the kick aspect, really, just so it's distinctive, it's different.
Well, I'd say what you and I, Jordan, do is closer to abstract acro, but you can't.
But you're still doing the kick. You got to explain why.
No, I know, but like a lot of
the
things that me and him will do are weird things, and we'll do a lot of whole combos where there aren't any kicks. But then you can't also put someone like, I don't know, Anise under that same umbrella.
Well, I think that's where the freestyle bit would come in, though. But we need something from the kick. Someone said martial acrobatics, and I think I don't like the martial in there, because martial, it literally means fighting, doesn't it? It makes me, the second you hear martial, you think of fighting, and it doesn't have fighting in.
Acrobatic arts or something along those lines, and then the arts, huh?
It doesn't explain the kicks being at the core of it, though. You need something that includes that. It's got to touch on that at least.
I don't agree.
Why don't you agree?
Just because it doesn't okay. Also,
make
the
an
arts,
argument. Don't just say you don't agree.
The arts could be the second half of martial arts, and obviously in terms
there's
of
loads of different types of arts.
And yeah, I know, but there's also loads of different types of football.
Are there loads of different types of martial? Or when you think martial, do you think of fighting sports?
I think Bruce Lee, honestly.
and what does Bruce Lee do?
Fight people. But what's your point? I'm not saying martial. I'm saying arts.
When you think of art, it could be anything.
But acrobatic arts.
That's already a thing
under that umbrella. So you've got the expression side of it, but you've also got the kicks. Huh?
You've not. I've got a key problem that we haven't solved. It needs to include something to do with the kicks. If it was acrobatic art, that's already a thing.
Kojo.
Let me explain it. It's
already a thing. I can't disagree.
You're not Omid, it's not my opinion. Acrobatic arts is already a thing. It's what Andre Katosi does. The people who flow around, do 360 back handsprings, Aaron Hakala, it's what people already do that, and it's not tricking. It's a different thing. It needs something different to define it as tricking. Just because the people who flow around, if you're just doing gumbies and stuff and all these cool floor work moves, but there's no kicking element, it's kind of a different thing, and it's something that people do. Circus people do it. It's a different thing.
But it's not called that. You don't call it acrobatic arts. The whole community of people like Andre Katosi and Aaron Hakala aren't calling it acrobatic arts.
That's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing what it is, though. What they are doing is acrobatic arts. It's really confusing if you would call it something that explains a different sport way more than it explains the sport you're doing. It would make it confusing. It doesn't include why are people doing cheap 9 hook jackknife in acrobatic arts? Why are people doing spin hook kicks again and again? But it doesn't.
What's going on there? Include that in the name. It's like there's a bunch of different things. You're not including the fact that transitions are such a huge part of the tricking arsenal, or I don't know.
Nah, they're kind of not, though. That wouldn't be included in the name, because that's like saying there's transitions in everything. It's even in tennis and stuff, you could any step you do in any sport is like a transition.
Yeah, but
that's too
the
vague.
example that you just gave, tennis doesn't explain
it doesn't. It's an original word.
It doesn't have to do.
It could. I agree. It could be an original word. If it's a brand new word, fair enough. But if you're using words that describe something that isn't tricking, then it's confusing. That's what we've already got. We've got words like martial arts tricking. Now, martial arts, it means fighting sport. It doesn't even. It doesn't even mean kicks, really. It's martial art means a fighting sport. That's what the words mean, isn't it?
So how do you get kicks in there without it sounding like you're fighting someone?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
It's I feel like even if you put the acrobatic side of it in, or if you literally said if it was called flips, twists, kicks, when you hear kicks, you're immediately going to think fighting.
Not as much as I wouldn't think as much as martial. When I think of martial arts, then
but what's the alternative? How do you get the explanation of the kicks in there without it sounding like you're fighting someone. Because just having the word kicks in there, I think it can also sound like you're fighting someone. And I think that is a good point. Like, because a lot of people, when they see me doing it, even if I'm just doing like gainers or swings or anything, they're like, oh, you think you're hard? Like, you fight someone, or, oh, yeah, you see. It's like, what? I'm doing switches. What do you expect here?
But lots of the stuff is based in like martial arts technique. Like that's the thing, because as a whole, I know not everyone, but as a whole, trickers are aiming to do kind of like somewhat martial arts technique when they're doing their round kicks and hook kicks and stuff. Like that's what the goal is. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be though, and it might not be in the future. So I guess things, yeah. I mean, we're kind of moving that way, but I don't know. I feel like it should be tied a little bit to that in some way. Oh, I'm getting distracted from the stretch here. I'm not sure.
I just got to stop stretching.
All right.
I was just sat in a really weird position looking at you.
All right, I'm in this one. I dropped my phone. All right, I'm back. This is hard. This is trying to stretch and think of a new name for this sport. It's tricky. All right, leg like that. Bam, we're going over it.
Oh, all right. That on.
Someone said, I think a describing term doesn't suit it too well because mostly every sport has its own made-up name, like gymnastics, tennis, judo. Like, yeah, it could have a brand new name. I'm totally open to that. It's just using words that kind of make you think of other things makes it a little bit confusing. So, like a brand new name would be cool, but getting that to stick would be really hard.
Yeah,
but not impossible.
We could just call it Blaze. Just one word, Blaze.
Blaze. It's like everything just sounds kind of lame. It's really hard to know.
But the thing is, like, that's the problem. It's like everything's lame until you make it a thing.
That's true.
Pretty much, unless it's, I don't know. There's certain things you can kind of get away with it. Like if you've got the word blading in there, it immediately sounds cool. Like any kind of blading just sounds cool. But I don't know. It's a really weird one. But yeah, I'm glad that it's not just us.
Yeah, because this is something to know. Not one person has commented saying, no, it should be called tricking. Not one person. I think that like change would be possible because no one like cares. No one passionately cares about it being called tricking. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but it's the minority, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, like, do you think it's like, why was it called tricking in the first place? Do you know?
Well, I think it was just like martial arts. And then when they were doing sport,
they were doing tricks.
Martial arts tricks. Like
Yeah,
they'd call the moves tricks, wouldn't they? And then, I'm doing martial arts tricks, so that kind of turns to tricking. I'm tricking, and then over time, it's just become that. No, I don't think anyone particularly wants it to be called that. It's funny, the martial arts people want it to be called like martial arts tricking or XMA, and then the tricker people think the name tricking's lame as well. Like no one even wants it really.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I've got a new angle. Think about the names of some tricks. Because there's some tricks that have cool names. Like, maybe it could be named after one of them or inspired by one of them. What am I doing next?
I'm gonna do a what is it? Is it downward dog? Or will you lay on your front and push up?
That's an upward dog.
Upward dog, yeah, that's the one. But
okay, so what trick's got a cool name?
Horwing whacker.
Let's not call it Horwing whacker.
Yeah, it's got four in the name. We've got the same problem as tricking.
Vortex, that's a cool one. D-blasting. Sideswipe. Now, I would feel better calling it sideswiping than tricking. Like it sounds weird at first. Any name we choose, any name we say is going to sound weird at first. But sideswipe, that could catch on. Alex Hunter said swiping.
art swiping, freestyle swiping, freestyle. I don't know.
It's called side swiping.
Raised blasting, Doug said.
Oh, you get a new Jacob Wolfman documentary. It's called raised blasting. It's more of a lifestyle.
It's called Fei Long swiping. I don't know.
It's called crash mooning.
Oh, we should just name it after someone.
I mean, it's pretty much becoming shuriken cuttering. Nah, it's called shurikening now, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
shurikening and quad corking.
So, someone said I like free swipe. Free swiping would work, like, yeah.
Free swiping. Oh, let's call it Omid. Let's call the whole sport Omid.
Like, what's that you doing? And you're like,
That's what Leo said.
It's Omid. It's Omid. Yeah, so you do.
Then
you
everyone
do
can
these
be
things.
Omid. Everyone
You do
can
these
be an
bits and
Omid.
flips, and they're all called Omid. Every
This one's
called
called the side Omid, and this one's called the cheap 9 Omid. Oh, that's funny. Do excuse me, I'm just sticking my ass in the air for this one.
I'm getting a bit of the shoulder stretching on.
Are you guys keeping up with the stretches? Bloody hope you are. Black
Yeah, you can do your own stretches, but I think it'd be nice if it was like a consistent thing. Everyone stretches together for an hour on a Tuesday night. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be lovely.
Though you should be doing more stretches in the week. Even if you don't, then at least you're getting one in. You know, you're getting one proper stretch with your old pals, Omid and Kojo.
Yo, so Fresh Trick said we could call it wicklashing in honor to the grasshopper. You know, I was genuinely thinking,
cool
when I
name.
said we should name it after someone, the first person I thought of was our old boy Hans.
Legend.
Man, the myth.
Wicklashing. Someone said just call it Plan Zero. That's a terrible name for it. It would be like scoot noodling, like it. Someone said free swiping sounds accurate because it's freestyle and it incorporates a way to say kicking without making it sound like fighting. I think free swiping is a cool name. I think that's the best we've had so far.
I'd say so, yeah.
I'd put that at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best we got so far. Sorry, Tom the Loop Kicker. I'm gonna have to. Actually, no, I'll leave you as you are because I'm a big fan of the fact that you did that. I hope you stay Tom the Loop Kicker forever and always. Right, I'm gonna do one where you probably can't see me, but I'll try my best.
Free is too long. I like just swiping. Swiping's also cool. I don't know. We need to keep thinking about this, though. I'm going to get this out there. I'm going to keep blabbering on about it until more people
Are you trying to campaign to change the whole sport?
Yeah. It's
eventually. You see, this is the thing you don't realize about Kojo. This is going to be one of his little schemes, and he's just going to hope that it ends up becoming Kojoing or something. He's just like he's planting the seed, and he's got like a 6-year long game, and he's hoping that it'll become like Free Pogo Kojoing or something.
I just keep naming stuff after myself. Oh Lord. I don't know. I think it will probably change. Definitely in our lifetimes, maybe in the next 10 years, probably in the next 20 years, if I had to guess, because no one likes the name. So then there's no governing body for starters, and no one really likes the name. So we are at risk here. You got to remember, we're at risk. Like the gymnasts can come in. They've already tried before with their 3G.
3G,
that they did in the UK, like freestyle gymnastics, and they basically took a load of tricking moves and tried to call it freestyle. Well, 3G. So because of the nature of tricking and how we're not organized, then maybe some other sport will come in and try and name it, and that will be what happens. Which I don't want that to happen, but it could happen.
Well, it's like I didn't know that this was the case, and I don't know how true this was, but like I said, didn't you say that what's it called? The fucking the Channel 4 documentary, Jump London one.
That's
Didn't
what, yeah,
didn't they come up with free running?
that's what I've heard, and that's not. I've heard that recently from like parkour documentaries, and also I heard that from the people I trained with when I started free running in like 2010. The Jump London, the documentary about parkour that made it like popular, that they called it free running. They came up with the name free running because they thought people wouldn't like understand parkour. They thought it was too French for the UK.
To be honest as well, like even if that's not true, that could happen to tricking. Like if there was something that was to put it on a big enough platform and they just called it the wrong thing enough, everybody would just see it. Like, for example, like 540. 540 is just a thing. It's always been a thing for many, many years. But then the second Chris Brown did it in a video, it became the Chris Brown kick.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it gets enough attention being the wrong name, like if it was just called like Zebra-ing or something, we do zebra, then all of a sudden everyone's going to call it as, oh, you do that zebra thing. And it's like, we can't be running around being zebras. It's not okay.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, Connor commented, Fig has done it to parkour, apparently. It's the 9th discipline of gymnastics. For anyone who doesn't know, Fig is like international, I don't even know what it stands for. Something, International Gymnastics. Federation of International Gymnastics, maybe, something like that. But they tried to take over parkour. And similar things will probably happen with tricking. I mean, maybe like, I don't know. I think it'll be another company in the future. But like if Adrenaline get really big, they could name it. You know, just because if they have the right sponsorship deals, it'll be up. They'd be able to start calling it whatever. If they think something's more brandable, they can just start calling it that, and then that's what it'll be called. And but that's not necessarily them. That could be Red Bull or anyone, any big company that gets involved with tricking could do that.
This is what we need to call it, Omid.
We just need a better name. Oh, Matt said they'll name it Adrenaline. Probably like makes sense.
Yeah.
That I don't know though. It would have to be Adrenaline something, you know. Someone said boycott it. Boycotting doesn't do much because no one else is going to boycott things.
Yeah, everyone ends up just forgetting about it and carrying on as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Shrimping. Yeah. Yo, Scarlett said shrimping.
Shrimping.
Yes, G.
Someone said, where is Kyle? Kyle was actually involved in a fatal car accident. He actually passed away a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, send your regards to the family. It's really sad. But, yeah. We miss him, but not that much, you know?
I miss him. You speak for yourself there, you nasty bastard. I miss him.
So someone said, tricking is literally free running without the obstacles. It's not though. That's the only thing. Like if it was, then yeah, but it's not. So that's the problem there.
I'm going to stretch my quad if anyone wants to join me.
Someone says Snapu Swipe energy drink. That could be a thing in the future.
Snapu Swipe energy, or Snapu energy.
Snapu. I don't know. Every so often, I'm going to put this out there again and try and. We need gatherings back to have these conversations.
I know, dude. Especially when everyone's hammered.
Yeah,
that's when all the best. That's when all the best shit will come about.
That's when the magic happens. You know,
it is. It's when worlds change. When everyone's hammered, sat outside this gym in the middle of nowhere, and we change the whole sport name, and then we wake up in the morning and forget the whole thing and just hate the fact that we stayed up until 6 a.m.
Well, hey, this was only the first conversation about it, and we've already got swiping and freestyle swiping. So.
The first conversation about it. The first ever. No one else has ever discussed this. I don't know. It would be funny if we were the ones that sparked this whole thing, this revolution. We sparked the tricking revolution.
That's not important. What's important is that it's not called tricking anymore at some point. Because
but there's no escaping the fact that it would be funny that some man named Omid was a part of this big change in the sport.
We were talking about this yesterday. how imagine what it'd be like on your gravestone. He was a legendary tricking athlete. Like, I don't know. Or
Legendary trickster.
I don't like that. It's not like a footballer or tennis star. Tricker. Come on. We can do better than that. We just got to think about it. It will happen.
Urban flip jumping. Dilk said I was once asked if I was doing urban flip jumping. I mean, what you do, Dilk, is definitely urban flip jumping.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Where's my fox?
Right, I need to stretch my quads next.
I just did my quads.
I'm gonna use a pillow like a pansy.
Oh, that's gay.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm coming out. This is me coming out. Jesus.
Jam. Yo, okay. Someone said, Tyler Hubble said, we mentioned loop kicks, but what about jam?
That's good. That's good.
That's perfect. Yo, shouts to Travis Wong. I'd get behind that 100%. If it's called jam and it's just called joining all movement because it's an amalgamation of all these different sports and all these different types of movement and it covers everything.
Well, you know what? We could, like, I'm thinking, well, what would you change the name of tricking to? What you could do is fuck off tricking, start calling it jam, and we're all like, and everyone's doing jam, joining all movement, and maybe that would inspire a bit more creativity because it's like, it's just combinations of whatever, which it already is, but lots of people don't treat it like that because, well, just the natural evolution. I mean, it's come from a certain place, so it's going to take time to get to that. But if jam was like the new thing, where it's just like freestyle combinations, kicks, flips, whatever, and then you leave the old people who don't want to change the word for it, they can keep calling it martial arts tricking, and that would just be like a lame thing, like people who do sport karate. No offense if you do sport karate, but it's like lame.
I think jam is really something. Should we just do that? Should we just change it here and now? Right, okay. Everyone,
jam from now on.
My first decree as the head of the Church of Shromid. Hang on, give me a sec. Bear with me so I can get me bloody Shromid. Here we go. Right, so my first decree upon you fine ladies and gentlemen, as part of the Church of Shromid, we shall now all be inducted into the Hall of Jamming. We must all refer to it as jamming, always and forever. All those in favour say aye. Aye.
I
really hope all of you did that at home. Just
Omid, you're gonna make Travis Wong a bunch of money.
I know. I'm behind it though. Also, of all the people, I'm about Travis Wong being called.
Yeah, he's a sweet angel. Yeah.
Yeah, all those in favour, both in the YouTube comments and on the live, say aye. Yo, we've already got loads of people.
Yes.
Right, so it's done. So from now on, we are going to refer to it as
jam.
Jamming.
It's called jamming.
It's called jam. We jam now.
We're jammers.
Also, yeah, shouts to Tyler Hubble. Forgot about that. The guy that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna not be Shromid for a second. I've got to be serious. I have to come down on a level and join you mere mortals.
Non-crustaceans. The humble non-crustaceans.
Thank you, Tyler Hubble, for being the brainchild of this, but also not because you just suggested what Travis Wong had already done. But we appreciate you mentioning it right here and now. So, yeah, and I'm back to Shromid. Okay, I want everyone to look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. Don't look around my eyes. Look into them.
I hate what it's doing to your nose, Omid. It makes it even bigger. Oh, stop. Stop. Dirty Smith.
Right, okay. Everyone needs to stretch like this.
Omid, you're making a mockery of this.
Hey, listen, this is the Church of Shromid. We do whatever the fuck we want.
It's not the Church of Shromid. It's the Omid Kojo show, right?
Oh, yeah, hang on. Now is the challenge of Schwab.
Back in. All right, so we sorted that. It took about 45 minutes. Solved. No more tricking. Tricking is dead. Hashtag tricking is dead.
Okay, everyone.
Start spreading that.
I want everyone on the next Instagram post to put hashtag tricking is dead. Just nothing else. Just hashtag tricking is dead. We're gonna get so much hate for this.
No, you just look like a bunch of edgelords. Tricking's dead, bro.
Oh my god.
I jam now.
Oh god. Also, this is probably the most consistent turnout of the Omid Kojo show so far on the live. Let us know in the comments why that is. Is it because of the stretching? Because
we're talking about the big issues, Omid.
No, I'm just intrigued because we've got the live interaction. We may as well. Here we go. All the comments saying tricking is dead. Hashtag tricking is dead.
We're changing the world.
We are changing the world. I mean, there's nothing bigger than the sport formerly known as tricking. Oh yeah, I did kind of promise a stretching routine.
Well, you've not even been showing your legs, Omid.
I did. No one cared. Everyone's watching you. You were leading it.
I was leading it, but...
And you just kind of gave up halfway through.
Nah, but... Okay, so I think the important thing here is that we're stretching. We don't all need to be doing the same stretch. You don't need to follow exactly what we're doing. But let's just make it so everyone stretches for an hour at this time. Do whatever stretch you want. And we'll be there. We'll be joining you. We're stretching too. We're your mates, you know?
Well, Tin Loy, the famous Tin Loy. Also, Tin Loy, I'm a big fan. Everything you do, big fan. He said, what was it he said exactly? Two men talking about their feelings is always a good watch. Now, you're bang on. And
we talk about our feelings way more in some other ones, though. We need to have a feelings talk again. Maybe first.
So
maybe we get deep.
The new structure of the Omid Kojo show is one of the days it's going to be about hard, serious training and stretching, and then the second show is going to be about feelings and all of the emotions that we have. Because do you know how many emotions I have? I've got tons.
You don't have feelings.
More than I can count on two hands. 2 hands. That's a lot. I'll list them for you. I'll list them now. So I've got sad.
Sad, yeah.
Sad and angry.
Self-loathing.
Self-loathing. Fear.
Fear, yeah. Pain.
Oh, suffering.
Suffering, yeah. Hopelessness.
Despair.
What else? You can't leave despair out.
No, never.
Yeah.
Leo, I am not full of shit.
Oh, come on, Leo. Don't hurt his feelings.
Don't,
you heard what emotions he has.
Do you want to see a grown Omid cry? Do you want to see a grown shrimp cry live on air? Is that what you want?
When are you going to cry? When are you going to cry on the live, Omid?
Give it a few weeks.
Maybe on Thursday. All right, on Thursday's live, we're going to talk about our childhood traumas.
Oh, fucking hell. How long you got? Is it going to be like we're going to have to keep turning it on and off? Jesus.
Oh, it'd be funny though. So we'll open up about childhood traumas, and then we'll take the piss out of each other for them.
We'll have a group cry for the last 20 seconds, and then we'll never speak of it ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it. So join us on Thursday for that. It's going to be great. It's going to be lit.
Oh, God.
Oh.
24 hours live of Omid crying.
That's what the world needs. That's my experience. Like, I got, you know.
I mean, Kojo gets it. I just don't film it.
All right. Any more stretches? Go on, give us a stretch, Omid. Give us an interesting one.
You want to stretch?
Show me an unusual stretch that people wouldn't normally be doing.
We could all bridge.
I'm not doing a bridge right now. Oh, I need to do more, but I hate it.
Okay. What's an unusual stretch? I don't know. We could do the one that I was doing earlier for your lats.
Oh, you love that one. That's your only stretch, that is.
Dude, it's because my lats are messed up. Boy, when you got wings like me, have you seen these lats? Have you
When,
seen
when you got a body like a kangaroo.
when you're 85% lat.
All right. People are saying, someone said, Kojo and Omid, put this show on Spotify like a podcast, please. We could maybe, yeah, I think we could do just an audio version soon. I don't know about like how hard it is to get on Spotify, but we could definitely get on something. We're trying to get more people to watch it on YouTube, though.
Huh?
So we're trying to get more people to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, once, like, it helps with us doing this so frequently, and like we're putting so much time into this. Like, we're doing 3 of these every single week. And
Yeah.
eventually, like, we want to be able to monetize it so that it can, like, actually warrant us spending so many hours of our week doing this. You know what I mean?
That was the problem before, because some of you will know, I'm sure plenty of you do, that we were doing this, we were doing the show before, like last year, but we had to stop because we both work a lot on the work that we have to do. I mean, I work normally 7 days a week, 6 or 7 days a week. So it's hard to make time for something that takes quite a bit of time and you don't get anything for. Though when we get to the point where it is somewhat monetized, then that can kind of justify us prioritizing it over other work. So
But I mean, the thing is, we both have like the shared view that we want to add value to the community, and we want to like actually just do something that's going to be beneficial for trickers. But at the same time, it was getting to the point before where it was hindering the
actual
amount of
work.
time, yeah, like the work that we need to do in order to live. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you a stretch, like an ankle / calf. Well, the other side. I forget what it's called. I used to know all the muscles when I did my personal trainer thing. But yeah, check out this stretch. Helps with pointing your toes. 1 foot like that.
Yeah.
Other foot underneath it, and then you put your weight more like over it, and you can kind of push your heel down a bit. Help get more pointed toes. It's quite nice, actually.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's a bit of an awkward one, but
there we go. Matt's coming in hot with the tibialis anterior. There we go. I learned, so for my personal trainer course, I had to learn like what all of the muscles were, and I practiced it loads for like the week before and everything to make sure I got it, killed it, and then I swear it was like the day after I forgot every single one. Like the day afterwards, I couldn't, like, I didn't know anything.
Well, a little bit of a sneak peek into Omid's past. I used to know pretty much the name of and also the location of every single major motorway and road in the entirety of the UK because of my old job.
Well, me and Omid both worked for the Highways Agency.
Yeah, that was a weird time. Wait, actually, someone did ask a question that I could provide some serious value to instead of just being a bloody great. I can't say that. So Steve Doggs asked, what kind of stretch did you do when you tore your ACL? I'd like to mimic it. Now, obviously, I can't run through everything, but what I would suggest is thinking about different sports that you can get workout routines from. So the one that I took the most from, it took ages, but I ended up finding an ice skating forum. And on that ice skating forum, there were people that were posting their knee stability and ankle stability workouts. And this was years ago. It's supposed to be like 4 or 5 years ago now. So I don't know exactly what they were. But they'd have all their stretches and exercises that they do. And there was a lot of like footwork drills in there and stuff like that. So just look into it, just Google it, and you'll find more than enough information because it was really useful. I actually progressed with my ACL recovery faster than my surgeon thought, which was really good. So yeah.
So if you're watching at home, this stretch is amazing.
Yeah,
I wish I'd been doing this for longer, but it's only really been the last couple months. But it's really, really nice for your shoulders and your chest, and it just feels really good. So I'd highly recommend when you're standing up, you can kind of go to the point where it stretches you the most and then lean over to the side, and it really stretches out your tit, you know? It's pretty nice. Oh.
Gonna give this one a go.
Yeah, get on it.
Oh.
Yeah. See, when the first one's always a killer as well.
Yeah, I haven't done this one in a while.
Yeah. This has been fun though. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
Quite a few of you have joined for like the whole thing, which is pretty sweet. It'd be good to build up more consistent members because these are pretty fun to do. And when there's more people involved, there's more comments coming in. It's a good time on a Tuesday evening.
Yeah. Also, if you're following along on YouTube, then you should also be stretching too. We highly encourage it, even if you're not doing it live with us, that's fine. But use the time that you've got of an hour of us blabbering on about stuff and listening to that, and you can get your stretch done.
Yeah. And if anyone has if you have some really like hot, spicy topics, don't care what it is, even if you think we wouldn't want to talk about it, it's worth suggesting it. So feel free to DM either of us anytime if you have a sweet topic that you think would be funny or interesting for us to talk about, and maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It'd be a laugh.
Be a bloody great laugh. Hang on. We've only got a couple of minutes left, but I really enjoyed this.
Well, 1 second. Happy 13th birthday, Hans.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
happy 13th birthday, Hans. Messed
Big
it
1
up.
3.
Hate myself. I'm sorry.
What are you saying, Omid?
I have no idea. I just hate myself now after that. But still.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I know I'm still lovely though, so it's fine. I'm a cult leader. Come on.
You know.
Come on.
Scott, every time, I swear I'm gonna be like 60 and I'm still gonna be giggling about you looking like a shrimp. I feel like that's where it's going, my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad place to be. Yo, that shoulder one. Oh, that was great. I haven't done that one in ages.
Oh, someone said, "Where can I acquire the Church of Stromid Bible?" We should knock out, but we should get Peen to draw up a Bible.
Well, Kojo and I were actually talking about this the other day. About if we were thinking about maybe doing some Omid and Kojo show merch. Let us know in the comments if you'd be interested. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know, because I'm trying to make some kind of Church of Stromid tea at some point. It's gotta happen. Let's keep it real. Shrimp pie tea.
Stromid fan account in the chat. Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh
Stromid
my god.
You need to pin that. Pin the Stromid fan account.
Stromid fan account. On my face in that DP. It's a problem, that is. Why was it not on a day where I got my hair cut? I'm getting my hair cut literally when I go back home. And then you'll have to, listen, since I'm the leader of the Church of Stromid, you're going to have to change that display picture and when I look like a handsome shrimp, all right? Okay.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was you in there.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, Mid.
Yeah.
I haven't had a proper rant this time. So Thursday we're gonna have some.
Hang on. You've got 20 seconds because then we need to do an outro.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it next time. But I want to have some big rants. We're gonna get deep.
I've got a bunch of topics I wanted to talk about as well. We'll have to do them in the next one.
Guy who commented about merch messaged me because we haven't sold t-shirts for like a year, so I'm confused. But yeah, message me and I'll sort it out. Yeah,
Kojo's good at sorting stuff. So yeah. Well, we got 20 seconds left, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not currently.
Please.
You're just watching it live.
Please.
If you're
watching it live, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel anyway. We need
2 seconds.
Peace.
Peace.